Well, hey guys, welcome back to Relentless Talk Radio. This is episode 51. And wow, I just can't believe how fast the Tuesdays go every week. I'm always just shocked that it's 2:30 before I even know it. I've been working since I woke up. I never even got out of my pajamas a couple of minutes ago. So today's topic is that you're serving small doesn't serve the world. So the reason why I choose the topic every month is kind of like dictated on who the guests are going to be. And so today I'm talking with Shane Orlando from Orlando's Auto Body and National First Response. And I am just like totally amazed at both of these folks and just how well they've done with their business. And it just occurred to me that both of them could have, kind of decided to go small and they decided to go big. And okay, so Marianne Williamson is running for president. So this is not a political show, but we are going to talk about her quote, which has just been very, very instrumental to me throughout my career as a person, really. I heard the quote in my 20s, many years ago, and many, many years ago. And it's always been something that stuck with me. And it's been on my mind a lot lately for lots of reasons. So let me read it to you, because some of you guys listening on podcast don't have the luxury of having a computer screen to look at. So I'll read it. It says, and of course my glasses are dirty, right? Let's try cleaning those off a little bit. Okay. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we were powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do, and we are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it really says in this quote, this is from A Return to Love, Reflections on Principles of the Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles is a really huge book based upon spiritual practice. And a lot of people think this quote came from Nelson Mandela because Nelson Mandela quoted Marianne Williamson. So I think it's really interesting that President Mandela is mistaken for this quote, and Marianne Williamson is actually running for president here. It's kind of interesting. So this quote really gets me because I think that sometimes people feel like, I don't know. When I first started my company, I named it Fearlessly Deliver. And the reason why was because it's really hard to be a chicken shit when you have the word fearless in your title of your company. And I made a decision to change the name of my company this year to Micalizzi Enterprises, my over company, because of some branding issues with a company that was art related back in New York. And I decided that it wasn't worth the fight. And I also realized that I'd kind of moved from being fearless to being relentless. And so Micalizzi Enterprises was born and Relentless Talk Radio was born. But this quote really means something to me. And, this idea that of humility has come up a lot lately. This idea of what humility really is. Humility is not just a force feeding on humble pie, right? Humility is not just like you're just humble, you're humiliated, right? Humility is a clear understanding of who you actually are. And so that's like who you're not, which is what I think most people think humility is about, and who you are. And I think that, if all of us were to step back and really think about what our potential is as a human being on this planet, and how far we're falling short from where we're supposed to be, what we were built to be, I think that we would change our minds about what our life is about, So this quote to me is really an awful lot about, just going big. This year in 2020 is going to be my best year yet. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. And I'm not apologizing for how big I'm thinking or making myself, apologizing for having big dreams. I've never apologized for having big dreams. And I think that some people mean that's arrogant and they just can't wait to don't hit your mark or you fail. They just can't wait to to be that person that is able to point out that you didn't make it. But see, the game's not over until the fat lady sings, right? So until I'm in the ground and I have no more ability to try on this planet, I'm going to work towards that 100,000 gifting goal that I have. I'm going to continue to grow my business. I'm going to continue to talk to people about how they're growing their business, and I'm going to continue to show up and be the woman that God, meant for me to be to the best of my ability every day. So every day, I'm not always 100%, but I really just like this quote, and I think it's a really good quote to go into the new year. So this year I'm taking off to Vermont to go visit my folks. And it's, every time I get close to a holiday, I realize just how quickly the year went and how little time there is left and how precious it is, And also this idea of shining. So I posted something last week on my personal page about the idea of shining on. And it's amazing how many people reached out to me and talked about their story about shining and about not shining, And I think that if you had an opportunity in your life to have kind of a dark nights of the soul, and then you have the luxury of shining again, you're much more appreciative of being able to shine. And so, I don't know, if this year you're thinking about starting a business or you're trying to get more energized to, make some really big New Year's resolutions, I suggest taking this quote and I'll post it in the post below, and printing it out and reading it to yourself every morning, because this is a really, really powerful quote. It really is. I mean, when I look at it, there is nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. Have you ever found yourself not wanting to boast or not wanting to stand tall or trying to make yourself smaller because other people felt insecure? And you know what happens when people are insecure? They're cruel. I definitely have had people be cruel to me in my life because of what their perceptions are of my strength. And so they feel that because you're a strong person, it gives them the right to be mean. And I recently had a conversation with somebody in my close networking circle that was just so amazing and so shocking how the conversation went. And I remember saying, God, do you realize that I'm in tears? And that person said, you're not in tears, Michelle. You're a badass. Nothing bothers you. And I thought, wow, is that really what you think? Is that how little you know me? Of course things bother me. Of course it hurts when somebody's cruel. And I think sometimes when you're trying to get to the next level, people sometimes are cruel. And I don't know, I just choose to ignore it. It's there, obviously that conversation is still there, but I think what I learned most from that conversation is how I don't want to be. And also it has made me, that conversation has blessed me with just a stronger resolve to reach my goals more than anything else, There's nothing more satisfying than being happy. The best revenge is happiness. The best success is happiness, So happiness and joy is something. Choose joy and shine on are two of my hashtags this year. And choose a healthy change. Those are my hashtags this year. To move forward, choosing to be joyful, choosing to be shine, and choosing to change your life. This idea of choice is really super strong. And I think that this quote is really about convincing you to make the choice to liberate your soul so that you can be an example to others. I love this part where it says, as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And I think Daphne, who from ISA Revolution, and Shane Orlando from Orlando Auto Body and National First Response, who are coming on next, are two people that have always been bright, shining lights to me. And I really like to get to know and talk to people who are bright, shining lights, because I want to know how they did it. I want to know how they keep doing it. I want to know what they've had to overcome to get there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign off of here, and I'm going to get Daphne Evans. So I'll be back in just a couple of minutes with segment 2 of the health and fitness segment with Daphne Evans from ISA Revolution. And then after that, we'll have Shane Orlando from Orlando's Response. So thanks a lot, everybody. I'll be right back.